my name is Melissa Lenos. I am a owner of a bookkeeping firm that is out of Leduc, Alberta. We do bookkeeping across Canada, so we have clients actually from Vancouver Island to PEI and then up to the Northwest Territories and Yellowknife. And I also sit as the board chair currently for CPB Canada. And we'll be doing that for the next 2 years. So it is an organization and association in Canada. It is an unregulated association for bookkeepers. It is one of the largest in Canada. We have, I believe we just hit 2,300 members and just over 1,100 are certified. You can be a member, an affiliate member, but you don't have to be certified to be a member. So that's why there's a little bit of a difference there, but the whole point of CPB Canada is to have a certified bookkeeping association that allows us to require CPDs and education, as well as the ethics portion of being a bookkeeper in Canada. I believe I've been a member just under 8 years. I went looking when I started my business 15 years ago for an association that I could get a designation or have a community, and found IPBC, which is what CPB started as. But with the work that I was doing, I didn't need it quite at that time. So I kind of pushed it off a little bit, got busy and kind of forgot. So when I started actually building the business to be a bookkeeping firm, I decided I really wanted a designation and something that I could put behind my name, because clients were starting to ask about whether or not I was a CPA or not. So I went looking for a designation that I could put behind my name and feel like it was something that could really tell people what I was about and why I went the direction I did. And I found IPBC again, which is now CPB Canada, and got my designation at conference when we used to do it at conference many years ago in person. And now they've made it very easy to get your designation any time of the year online. So it has made it so it's a lot easier than having to go to conference and do it at conference. The biggest benefit, in my opinion, would be community. So having that ability to ask questions within the community, having different people that I can collaborate with, because when I was on my own, it was hard to know who to ask and where to have that conversation and the collaboration. So I went to conference so I could find some of that collaboration, and found it at CPB conference, found a few people that were similar in the way they were building their business. And so we ended up meeting once a month and having that collaboration. So that was the biggest benefit to me. There's also other benefits. There's insurance that you can get as a CPB member. I believe there's a TELUS thing right now. So there's a few of those different things that you can get as a CPB member. But for me, the biggest thing was the community and the ability to have someone to talk things out. Members supporting each other, we have a few things. We have Collaboration Corner. So Collaboration Corner, we added almost a year ago now, where members are helping members. We also have a mentor program through CPB. So those are two great examples of how members are helping each other. We are coming out with a new website that likely will end up having some type of forum on it, which we used to have on our old website. So hopefully we're coming back with something to that effect so that we can ask questions. And we do have a CPB closed group. So once you become a member, you can get into that group, and that is also a great place to collaborate, ask questions. Because we all know there's lots of Facebook groups and all those things to ask questions to, but knowing that you're in the certified member group allows you to know that the information you're getting is good. I would do it for the education side of things. We have hundreds of webinars in our library, and we're doing a webinar every week with either software, so learning different softwares and what's out there, learning how to do things within the bookkeeping world. I know we did some workshops last year that everything from like time management, how checklists work, why you want checklists, how to price, all of those things are things that we do webinars or workshops on. And conference is another big one. There's, I don't know, 50 hours of education that comes out of our 3-day conference. So if nothing else, it's understanding education, and not the education that you're getting at school, in a university or a college. It's the education that you need on a day-to-day basis about software, or about how to build the business, grow the business, price the business, the things that you might talk about in school, but the actual hard knocks, people who have done it, having those conversations. So I would say that is the biggest reason to become part of the ecosystem and the community, is just to start learning some of that, as well as the education then gets you that designation. So although the School of Hard Knocks is very important, for a lot of people, some letters behind your name saying that you've done the education, you've done the exam, and that you passed and are knowledgeable in bookkeeping or payroll, I think is very important in our world. Again, there's only a couple certifying bodies in Canada, CPB being one of them. So we're getting known. So for example, the government of Ontario requires either a CPA, PCP, or CPB to be the ones running certain payrolls for some of the workers. So it's starting to be known and starting to make it so that you need to be certified so that you can do some of these government type required forms. So I think that's one of the reasons it's going to be important, and especially going into the future as more governments are starting to recognize CPB. I believe BC just put one out as well that has us listed as one of the designations that can do that work. As that continues, it's going to become more and more important to have a designation. And like, I went down the CPA route and decided I really wanted to be a bookkeeper, and having my CPA wasn't necessarily going to help me be a bookkeeper. I needed to have the designation and the education behind me to be a good bookkeeper, and this gets you there. So we do have 3 different levels: apprentice, technician, and then certified. All of those have hours behind them or years of knowledge that are required. If you have all of the hours or years required, you can skip the apprentice and the technician levels and go in and do your certification. Requires a couple letters stating that you do have those years of experience. But otherwise, as a student, you're going to start at the bottom. There's a few less hours of education required, so the different levels have different things required to keep those levels. And you just do the tests and then the exam to become certified. So it's a few-year process, but over those years, there's different requirements of knowledge that you're going to need to know and learn, and that comes from the experience of working day-to-day in bookkeeping. For me, it was a choice. I wanted to become a bookkeeper, and it has been my life. I started very early in the bookkeeping world in comparison to most. The reason I love being a bookkeeper is because I can help small businesses grow, help them make financial decisions because of the good bookkeeping that we're providing, be able to help them get maybe loans or things from the bank so that they can continue to grow. The other reason to become a bookkeeper is it is very rewarding. You get to spend a lot of time with small businesses and entrepreneurs in Canada, which is always very rewarding because you grow with them as they are growing. You feel like it's part of your world as well because you're almost part of their business, just as an employee would be. And it does give some ability to make decisions, the type of clients you want, if you want to be in agriculture or if you want to be in manufacturing, for instance. And it allows you to really grow your knowledge in those bases of the types of clients as well as the types of software. So you can have every day be different, or you can very much make the choice to have every day the same. Problem solving is a big one in our world, and then time management. Time management and priorities. Those are usually the things I ask as someone's trying to get a job with me, is how is your time management? How's your problem solving? And how do you deal with priorities? So just understanding what's in front of you, what's on your plate, not getting distracted with the things that are going on in between, but just making sure that you're getting done what you need to get done. We are very task oriented and deadline oriented. So someone that is organized and time management. I've heard a lot of things everywhere from it's not really going to change that much to bookkeepers are no longer going to be required in the world. I have my own opinion on that. I think that AI is there to help us. We're going to have to manage the AI. There's nothing that AI can do that a human can do in the same way. We need to be able to run the AI and be able to use the AI to help us get things that maybe we couldn't have done 15, 20 years ago. I started in bookkeeping with a ledger, handwriting it into a book. So it has come a long way. And when the ledger was going out, they thought the computers were going to do everything for us. We're never going to get to the point, in my opinion, where the computer does everything for us. Yes, it helps us get data entry done. So I no longer have to do data entry, which I'm very happy about. But now the AI can help us create reports. It can help us analyze. And even though it's doing all of those things for us, we still have to go through it and we have to explain it to our clients. A written report is not everything and the end all be all. We need to still be able to go through it, make sense of it, have those conversations with our clients. So I think it's going to evolve and change in what we're doing, but I think that we're going to become even more important because we can help them build their business, we can help them grow their business, and that's what we're going to start doing as bookkeepers and maybe become more of an advisor. But that's okay. That's fun.